Welcome to Program 3 Full Body Workout. Coming in hot with some shadow boxing. Nice and fast, pulling those hands right back in every time, shooting them right back out every time. Bopping side to side, getting blood pumping in all of your muscles. Changing it up now with some leg curls. So again, go at your own pace. And you can do what you like with your arms. I'm giving you an option. You could also put them on your hips if that's more comfortable for you. Whatever you like, rock it out. Dropping down into some little mini side lunges now, so just alternating side to side. Think about pushing those hips back and keeping the weight in your heels. You'll see I'm even lifting my toes as a little reminder to myself of where the weight needs to be to keep my body safe. Your legs should be warming up here. Everything should be starting to get warm, firing up. We'll repeat this warm-up series once more before jumping in for our full body workout. Back to that shadow boxing, let's do it. Stepping it out now with some leg curls. Remember to get that heel as close to your bum as you can, all the way. And dropping it down now for those side lunges. 30 seconds of warm up to go until we get started. Jumping in here with some step-ups. Now you've done these in a few different workouts now, girls, so you know what to do, and we should be getting a little more strength and balance happening. You know that you've got to keep the weight driving through the heel in that front leg, a nice long lunge back, and getting those knees bent to as close to 90 and 90 as possible. Driving it up. The faster you go, the more of a cardio workout this will be. Change legs. And if you go slower, you'll have that sustained resistance against your muscles. Both do a great job, so you can take your pick and you could even change it up each time you do this workout. Alright, hopping down on the ground now, and we're going to have a look at a side plank. We haven't done this movement before, so take the time if you need to pause the video and get in position. I'm showing you level 1, which is down on your knee. So you're resting on your elbow and one knee is down and your top leg is up for some stability. I like to have my hand on my hip with that top arm. If that is not hard enough for you or you'd like a greater challenge, you can come up onto 2 feet. You can see I've got one in front of the other there. That's my preference. You can also have your feet stacked one on top of the other. Changing sides now. Now what we're thinking about is lifting our bottom hip as high as we can off the ground. And the muscle that this exercise is working is your oblique. So it's the side of your stomach that is closest to the ground. So your obliques are part of your abdominal group. Again, take the level that is most appropriate to you. Let's get that heart rate back up a little bit and those hamstrings burning with our crossovers. So we can keep it kind of static if you like, or if you are feeling energetic, you can add in that jump. Hitting the ground now for our back extensions. So hands underneath your forehead and you're lifting your chest up as high as you can off the ground. We're feeling this in our upper back and we want to have a nice squeeze at the top of each motion and slow and steady down. Using your control. Arms out now for rhomboid squeezes. So drop down to the ground. Come back up, pulling those elbows as close as you can behind you. That upper back should really be getting a burn on now. Keep pushing, elbows as close together, all the way to the end. You've got this. All right, jumping up now, we are heading to our chair for some mountain climbers. If you like, you can do this from the ground as well. Either option is fine. There is more pressure on your shoulders if you stay on the ground, and less on your shoulders, obviously, if you're on a chair, table, or wall. But you should be able to get the same abdominal engagement either way. So trying to get those knees up to touch your elbows, crossing over, straight up, or out to the side. It is personal preference. And finishing our first round here with some tricep dips. So same as before, our hands are as close together as possible, elbows staying nice and close together, and getting that body moving straight up and down. Remember, this is a good one to practice in front of the mirror to make sure that your form is correct, because it can be difficult to pinpoint. Back in with these step ups, let's do it. Really drive through that base leg, that's where you're getting all your momentum. Opposite hand to foot, you could even squeeze your abdominals, pull that pelvic floor up and get a nice little twist across the abs. Check in with yourself, have you got that pelvic floor engaged? Is your belly button tucked down to your spine? We want to keep those transverse abdominals engaged the whole time. So pushing all the way through. This is the last time we're doing step-ups today. Weight in the heel, feeling that booty burn. Let's do it. time to hit the deck for those side planks. So resting on that base elbow, either on your knee with the top leg straight or with both legs straight. Remember, we're trying to get that bottom hip up as high as we can. Changing sides now. Again, holding it for as long as you can. Squeezing that hip up and getting those obliques working hard. Crossovers now, let's challenge ourselves. If you haven't tried the jumps yet, just for 10 seconds now, put them in there. So a jump when you're making that cross shape with your body and then reaching down to your toe. Let's get that heart rate up, heart and lungs pumping, and improve our cardiovascular fitness. Down we go now for those back extensions. So remember, slow and steady, particularly on the way down. So you can have a fast motion up and then slow down, and that will even increase the intensity further for you. Let's really fire that back up with these rhomboid squeezes. Now you can either rest your head and arms down between each rep, or you can hold them up, whichever you need to do. And remember, if you need to take a rest, that is totally up to you each time. Listen to your body and do what feels right. Finding your position for mountain climbers. Remember, we want steady and squeeze with those abs, getting your knees as close to your elbows as possible. I bet you anything that they are a lot closer to your elbows now than they were the first time you tried mountain climbers. So well done. Over now for those tricep dips. Hands together, elbows together, squeezing every rep out. You got this. Well done. Time for a cool down. One of the most important parts of a workout is cooling down and stretching out once you finish. It's very, very important because this is how we prevent injuries. So your first stretch here is a quad stretch. You can do it standing up like I am, pulling your heel to your bottom, or you can lay down on your side and make this same movement again. So laying on your side and pull your top leg up to your bum. You're feeling the stretch down the front of your leg, You want to keep your knees close together and imagine that you're pushing your knee or pointing your knee at the ground. Change legs now. By all means, you can hold on to something to balance here. This is not about practicing your balance so much as it is stretching out your quads. Again, if you find it difficult to balance, you can be doing this laying down on the floor and it is just as beneficial. Our next lower body stretch today is going to be hitting your hamstrings and also your calves. So you'll see that I've got all the weight in the front leg there, pushing into the heel, into my bent leg there. The back leg, I'm pushing my heel as far as I can to the ground, stretching out my calf muscle and also feeling a bit of a stretch into my hamstring. So we're working on the back of that straight leg, so all the way up the back of my leg. Pressing down into that back heel to really stretch out your calves. Step your back foot forward and lean onto the other knee. Point your toe as far as you can towards the sky and you should feel your hamstring really start to stretch out here. It's quite likely that your hamstrings are tight, so just do what feels comfortable here. You can progress to grabbing your toe, but if that doesn't feel good for you, then please don't do that. You can pull your toe towards you if you need to, or even lean a bit lower towards that straight leg. Swapping over, stretching out the opposite calf now. So your left leg or the opposite leg is in front, pressing that back heel down to the ground. You can also press your hips forward in this position, which will stretch out your hip flexor, which is at the front of that straight leg there. These can often get quite tight, and so it's important to stretch them out to prevent injury. Rocking over now and getting the hamstring of that opposite leg. Again, pushing your heel to the ground and pointing your toe to the sky, so you should feel the muscle down the back of your leg, which is your hamstring. You can take this option if you like, but you can stay where we were before as well if that's enough pressure for you. Moving into our upper body stretches now, so we're going to start by stretching our shoulders. Put one arm across your body and with the other arm you're going to try and pull it towards you. So you should feel it stretching out in the shoulder and moving towards your upper back there a little bit. I like to start with my thumb up and then increase the stretch by turning it down. It's a personal preference, so if you don't feel a difference or you don't feel the need to change it, you don't have to. Push a little bit further around now, just really opening up behind those shoulder blades. You can be doing this stretch while you're sitting down if your legs need a break or if you just need a rest altogether, but it is really important that we do complete the stretch sequence. Arm up and over to get your triceps stretched out. So remember all that movement we did for our tuck shop lady arms? We are going to stretch those back out now to keep ourselves nice and safe. Swapping over the same sequence on the other arm now. Stretching out our chest, so if you can, clasp your hands together behind your back and then push back, push your chest forward and your shoulders back, releasing our chest muscles and also our shoulders or the front of our shoulders. You can also stretch your chest and your shoulders by resting on a doorway and then pushing against them. So if you can't get your hands together behind your back, that's fine. There are other ways of stretching this. These stretches we're doing are by no means exhaustive, so if you have other stretches that you'd like to do or you feel like you need to do more, please do. Stretching out our upper back here, so clasp your hands together in front this time, pushing your fist away and your back out. So you should feel the muscles just start to release a little bit. This one isn't optional. Some people find this really comfortable and others don't like it at all. Bend your knees and wrap your arms around your legs, and you can push up against it. So again, it's another upper back stretch. As I said, some people love it, some hate it.